Hey Budai Nation. So last time when I invited our senior account manager Sofia and we showed you how we onboard our new e-commerce retention marketing clients, that video became quite popular here on YouTube. So I just decided to go for the extra mile and become even more transparent. And now today I invited our copywriter lead, Nick, and he will show you and walk you around our copywriting processes, how we make sure that we are creative and we deliver great quality in our copywriting when it comes to e-commerce retention marketing. Talking about copywriting, so we have 4 key steps when it comes to copy. The very first one is the creative brief. Actually, in our previous video with Sofia, she already showed certain parts of it. And then the second is setting up the automated flows for new clients. Third is planning the content calendar for campaigns once the flows are already finished. And the fourth is optimizing campaigns and the flows. So Nick, my question is to you. So who is doing these 4 steps?
So we've got a team of 4 copywriters. So we're all spread around the world. Some of us are from the UK. We're all native English speakers. So between us, we've written thousands of emails already, and we have capacity as well to do Spanish, French, German, and various other languages on demand. But our core business is working with US, UK, and global clients for English language emails.
Regarding the creative brief, so what is it about?
Really, I mean, the purpose of this call is that we've once potential clients, conversations with the account managers, the copywriters will start working on their accounts, but they won't necessarily ever meet us, but we will communicate through the creative brief and through comments. So this is really just to give potential clients and existing clients as well a good idea of what we're doing behind the scenes, and also how we can hopefully make a big difference to their business. So the creative brief, like good solid marketing advertising process, is where we set out what it is you want the copywriters to do with your store. As copywriters, we will go and look at your store, we'll read all your reviews, we'll look at your Facebook ads if we can find them, just to see it from a customer perspective. But really, in the creative brief, this is your chance to show how you want us to communicate your features, your benefits, and language you want us to use around your product. So in some sectors, there's very specific language that you have to use for compliance reasons, especially with things like CBD or vaping. There's words you can and cannot use. So at the moment, we have a document that we share. We're actually going to upgrade that soon to make it more of a kind of click-through document to encourage you to give specific answers to important questions. But I will just scroll through it. It will explain a little bit of process about where, how the relationship works, setting up and onboarding. That's really for the account manager. And then really your website, your goals, where you are now, where you want to be, and how we're going to get there. The most important point for the copywriters, where you get to tell us about your tone of voice and your sender name. We want to avoid sending emails from a info at or kind of anonymous impersonal email address. So we try, if we can set up a sending persona and build a story around that. It's more engaging for customers. But you get to choose. Do you want us to be casual, formal, youthful, mature? We can look on your website, look at your customer reviews again, and give you an idea of how we think you would sound best. It varies between sector. It varies according to the competition and things like that. So, we are generally experts in finding the right tone of voice for your product. Doesn't take long to fill this in. The more detail you can provide in the creative brief, the less scope there is for error and misunderstanding once we get started. And generally, in my experience, our team tends to nail it first time. We very rarely have a client who comes back and says, this is the wrong tone of voice, or you've misunderstood it. Usually they're really surprised about how we can make their brand sound.
Yeah, so we have this initial call with our new client. Usually the account manager has it, but many times some creative person also joins this call. I think, Nick, you also joined a few, so that's how we...
It varies because some clients are really involved with their content already. They've written their, they might have written their About Us page or been involved with their branding. Other clients are really, focused on the business, and they need us to take a lead and to be creative with it.
Let's talk now about the automated flows. So how does it look like? And also, what if an e-commerce store already has these flows?
Obviously, the importance of the automated flows is that's typically where the bulk of your revenue is going to come from customers. You want them to get back again and again to your store as part of a retention strategy, but most, a vast majority will come once or twice. So they're paying attention to the key flows, which is, your abandoned cart, browse abandonment, but we don't, and your welcome flow. But we don't stop there. We also, we can create VIP flows, win back flows, all different segments and flows to reach customers at different parts in the journey. Some stores already have them set up, which is fine. We'll look at them, check it. We've got benchmarks we can compare against, what kind of click-through rate you should be getting, an open rate. And if it's underperforming, and if you're not getting that revenue, you really need to be getting from those flows, particularly, if you look at abandonment rates in e-commerce, they're ridiculously high. So that's a priority area, is to get people to come back and purchase. Generally, personalize them. Everyone knows the experience of clicking once on a store and then being bombarded with follow-up emails over the next few days. So you want them to have a bit of personality, make you laugh, and actually don't mind opening them, and you're probably prepared to click through. So we've got a lot of experience doing that. We will set up all the key ones, usually 4 or 5 emails per flow, but we focus with the priority ones, which we can set up quite quickly, especially if you're a new store and it's urgent to get those set up. And then as your segments build up and your list grows, we can start focusing on creating VIP segments, and those often generate a lot of unexpected revenue as well. Yeah. It's always better than just trying to win customers back again and again with brand new flows and campaigns.
Once we have these flows, then we start sending the campaigns regularly. And who comes up with the ideas there?
The most will send maybe 8 or 10 emails a month. It depends really. Obviously, our account managers will take the lead on that. Some clients will just say, you do what you do, come up with the ideas. We know it will typically be a mixture of sales emails, trust, promo. We don't tend to do the transactional emails. Mostly those are, the shipping info, those are already set up. But just emails that keep people engaged, keep people opening so that your inboxing rates are good. And then when you do have a sale, like, a big mistake a lot of brands make is it comes to Black Friday, they suddenly jump into action and they haven't communicated with their customers for weeks or months. So you're just keeping that conversation going. And email is such a good channel for that, because it's owned, it's not free, but it's cheap, and it's much better than trying to keep a conversation going through social ads or that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it's similar when someone gets a phone call from a friend and you haven't talked for years, and
you're waiting for them to say, "Yeah, I need a favor."
Yeah, you are suspicious. Yeah.
So we take the lead on that. We sometimes the account manager will brainstorm with the copywriters to see if you've got any ideas, and I get a lot of the best ideas by looking in customer reviews. You often see things that people are complaining about, so you can address it, or you're looking for what's popular at the moment, and then you look at the competitors as well to see what kind of topics people are reading about most. Okay, so this is a good example. This is of a content calendar for a shoe client. So one of the problems you have this kind of store is that people are not regular purchasers, but they do, because it's safety shoes, they do have questions and pain points around the issue of workplace safety. So we somehow managed to do 15 emails a month of amusing bite-sized content, which we've got a really good open rate and click-through rate with this, and we've grown this client over a year now. So it will be content emails about shoe safety, trust emails about our side of the business, that this client has a good backstory, that they used to work construction and then they design shoes to make construction safer. So any client who has a personal backstory is really good for those emails. Then we go into the sales, because there's always, every month is some kind of sale period coming up, and those are all very successful. And then we get back to just topics around the issue of workplace safety, shoes, fashion, etc. And then straightforward promo emails. If you've got a store with 5 or 6 different lines in turn over rotating schedule, we'll pick out one at a time, starting with the best sellers, and just talk people through the features and benefits, showcase the reviews and testimonials.
I think it's crucial, and many companies, they ignore it. They just set up the flows, or maybe they create the content calendar, but they repeat it every month. But what we actively do every month, every week, every day is measuring metrics and optimizing email marketing based on those. So first of all, what metrics do we track?
Especially young stores have issues with inboxing and actually getting getting the emails to land in the right place. So we'll start off fixing deliverability. Then obviously we want things to grow. We want you to see a steady upward curve with your revenue. So the key ones to test, we always run A/B tests every month on subject lines is the most important one. Calls to actions, HTML versus text, different segments, different send times, long emails, short emails. We're always testing something in our campaigns. And what we're able to do with the clients is get to the point where we can customize email flows to each client. So we know that for some clients, one call to action right at the top is what works. For others, we need several. Some customers we shift more towards images rather than copy. They just want very light copy, which is fine. Doesn't mean there's no copy going on. It means it has to be very concise and clear. And generally across the range, we know by now, having written so many of these, what character length works best in a headline or a subject line and a preview line. So we have all that data and we've built it up. Generally follows industry benchmarks. We don't have any kind of revelations, but we do for each of our clients, we generally manage to find something that they didn't know before that we can help improve their revenue and their email performance through that.
Can you mention a few other things that copywriters do and where the client, connects with the copywriter even if they don't talk?
A lot of people don't know what the copywriters do, and it's not just writing and typing. It's interpreting, basically. It's interpreting a store and finding the right language to communicate with customers and knowing who the customer is and what bothers them. So it's taking products and turning them into benefits and features. We're able to do that without a client having to hold our hand or constantly be behind us suggesting or amending. But occasionally, clients will comment on they all go to a client for approval if the client wants, and they are QA'd as well. We have internal teams who check everything. So we've got a really good, I think it's a 99% accuracy rate for our emails. We don't send things out with mistakes in or links that don't work or spelling mistakes. That and that's pretty rare in the industry. And any client has the opportunity, if they want to review each email or some of the emails or the important ones. And so occasionally, I wouldn't say many of them, but they'll leave comments and say, don't like the sound of this, or we wouldn't really say this. But we're also trying to match the language to the landing page. It's important that the emails that are landing in people's inboxes match up with what's the language that is used in the product descriptions and the kind of main messaging on the landing page as well. Although we're not, we don't really have any control over the website itself. We're just getting people to click through to it.
Yeah, there is one more thing I want to mention here is that I think Nick came up with this idea with our copywriters that they will attach a kind of rationale to the copy. So they will tell our clients the reason why they wrote the copy in that way as they did. We write the copy because we want to write it in that way, but there is a rationale behind it. There are principles behind it. So thanks, Nick, for coming here today and showing us, our viewers and our followers, how our copywriting processes work. So Budai Nation, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this one. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you go down and subscribe. Also hit the notification bell so you get updated about every new videos that I put out. Here at Budai Media, we don't want to see more boring ads, companies wasting money at dual creatives, not having an ROI, and we want to see more customer-obsessed e-commerce brands out there. Also, I want to show you one more video. We will put it here somewhere around. Basically, if you watch this video but you still don't know why you should use email marketing and how you can get 30, 40, even 50% of your monthly sales in e-commerce from email, then make sure you check out this video. Thanks everyone who watched this one.